Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel, Organized with Joy. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. For today's video, I wanted to take you on a little home tour. I thought it would be fun and different this year to show you what my home looks like around the holidays at night and the evenings. But I also want to share with you some of my favorite Christmas decor pieces in each of my spaces, and so I will also be sharing that with you. I hope you enjoy this calming, relaxing holiday 2023 home tour with me. So without further ado, come on in. Welcome to my home. So starting out here on my porch, my favorite decor piece is of course this vintage sled, which I got this year. I was very excited to style it. I do have a video on my channel where I clean and decorate my porch and show how I styled this porch with the sled. In that video, I actually had the sled oriented the other direction, but I decided to switch it up and put it this direction, and I realized that it had to be this direction because of all the cords down here. It didn't fit the other way. But this is for sure my favorite decor piece for Christmas for my porch. Here in my entryway, my favorite piece, well, it's actually a set, but I absolutely love these three wise men. I purchased these three brass vintage wise men from my friend's store. I have a friend here in Austin that buys and sells vintage and antique items. She has an Etsy store online, and then she also has a booth here in Austin, and I always find some really amazing pieces from her. And this was maybe 3 Christmases ago that she had these three wise men in her booth, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase them. I just really love unique pieces. I love vintage pieces, and so this was perfect for me. I'm here in my kitchen nook, and honestly I don't have a lot of Christmas decor in my kitchen and my kitchen nook, but there is one thing that I absolutely love, and it actually was also Well, it wasn't purchased from my friend. She actually just gave it to me, but I will show you this piece. I love this little amber mug. It has a ski scene on one side and then an ice skating scene on the other side, which is perfect for Christmas, but it's also great into the winter months. And I loved it because our family, we like to ski together. We don't go every single year, but we try to go most years as a family for a winter vacation. And so I just thought this was so cute. So this is my favorite piece in my kitchen. Okay, here in my office, once again, I really don't have much Christmas decor. Honestly, this little ornament, this little wreath with a pink Christmas tree, this is probably the only, yes, it's the only piece of Christmas decor I have in here. I'm noticing a theme. This came from that same friend. One year for Christmas, she got me a bottle of wine and she attached this sweet little vintage Christmas ornament. And I like to hang it on this bird sculpture because this bird sculpture was my grandmother's. I was able to get it after she passed away and it just reminds me of her. I love having it in my office where I get to see it regularly. And when my friend gave me this ornament, I immediately thought of my grandmother. I don't really know why, maybe because it's vintage and it looks like something that might have been on my grandma's tree, but nevertheless, I really love this ornament. Next up, here in my living room, I actually have several things that I just really love in here. This is definitely the space that I decorate the most, I guess, for Christmas. It is where our tree is located. But yeah, I have several things to show you. First up is this set of vintage books that I just took a velvet ribbon and wrapped it around this set of books. I actually ordered these off of Etsy. I thought it would be cute to have red and green books. I don't really decorate with traditional colors, and so I thought this would be a unique pop of more traditional colors here in this space, but it matches up better with my aesthetic, I guess you could say, with the vintage books. But I just love vintage books in general, but I thought this was fun to put these red and green books together. Also, really quickly, I do absolutely love these fur ornaments. Now that my kids are older, we don't have a bunch of just sentimental ornaments on our tree. I like to decorate in kind of a theme, and yeah, just love these fur ornaments. I think that they're unique and fun. Next up, I really love this sweet little wooden manger with hay in it. It's actually a fun activity for when my kids were younger. My mother-in-law gave this to us because this was a tradition in my husband's family, and it was really fun when my kids were younger. Basically, you have this bundle of hay that you set to the side, and each time your children choose to do something kind, like a random act of kindness or say something nice about someone, then they can choose a few pieces of hay to place in the manger. And the goal, what you want to try to encourage your kids to do, is to be able to place all the hay in the manger by December 25th to prepare the manger for Jesus. This was a really fun way to keep the focus on the reason for the season, which is the birth of Christ, and it was also just a fun way to encourage our kids to focus on others during this season, to focus on giving to others. So this is something that's really special to me. I still put it on display even though my kids are now young adults. Lastly, in this space, I did want to share with you these Jingle Bells that are vintage. And like I said, there's a running theme. I did purchase these from my friend's Etsy store. I just love how unique they are. The leather band that it's on is just beautiful. And then I paired it with this mistletoe greenery. I know that it would be hard to stand under this mistletoe, but I'm just using it for decor purposes. Okay, and now we're down here in my game room, and I wanted to show you a few pieces down in this space as well that I absolutely love and that are special to me. And the first one is this sweet photo of my daughter when she was about a year old. She was afraid to sit on Santa Claus's lap, so I guess, I don't really remember what was happening, but I guess he had the idea to just peek around the chair, and I felt like it ended up just being a really adorable photo that I love displaying every single year. To be honest, we were not one of those families that went and sat on, or our children sat on Santa Claus's lap every year, but we just happened to on that year. And I just love that photo. I just think it is so adorable, and it's a great display for the Christmas season. Next up are these brass deer that I have displayed up here. Those are actually vintage brass deer. I purchased them from an Etsy store, and I actually have another brass deer upstairs in my bedroom. I love all three of them for the Christmas season, but one of the reasons I love it is that it kind of just goes right into the winter season, and so I usually leave them up until spring. But I just love vintage brass animals in general. I actually have quite the collection at this point. I have several different animals. I'm not somebody who really feels like I'm a collector, but apparently with vintage brass animals, I might be. Okay, now I just wanted to pivot this way just a little bit so you can see my mantle. The last thing I wanted to share is this greenery garland. I absolutely love this garland. I purchased one strand last year and I did a bit of an asymmetrical look on my mantle, but this year I really wanted the garland to go all the way across and flowing down, and so I did decide to invest in a second one. I did purchase these at Crate & Barrel, and if you're familiar with this store, you know it is a bit of an investment, but I definitely see myself using this garland year after year.